The natural beauty of Beaverhead County is incredible. It's a largely rural with a lot of ranching communities and a few towns that are each about an hour apart. And it has some of the most friendly, down-to-earth people that I've ever met. People who deal with high levels of isolation at times and great difficulty to get from one place to another just because of the sheer size of the county. There's really a vacuum of resources for early childhood and for those families. We noticed a lot of the gaps very quickly. Things like a formal place for people to gather, especially in the winter months. The play space is housed here in Dillon because we recognize that this is the only place for a lot of resources for those folks who live outside of Dillon. So as they come into town to go grocery shopping or to utilize other resources that only exist here in our county, we want this to be a place that's welcome for them.
Especially if you're a stay-at-home parent, it's really hard to live in a rural community and it's lonely. And this is a place where you don't have to feel like that. They're so far away from resources. And if we can put these strategic partnerships together, diving deeper into Beaverhead County, we can be a hub of a wheel for support to make children the best they can be.
Would you eat a little French toast if I made it? I'm Roger Matthews.
Yeah.
I'm a fuels technician for the Forest Service. My son Mason Matthews, he's 4 years old. We live out here in Wise River. What else should we do while we're in Dillon today?
I want to bring my bike that Lander gave me that doesn't have training wheels so we can take it around the pond and see if I'll do better.
That's a really good idea. We had a big change last year when his mom passed away. And the amount of support from this community was overwhelming. After experiencing that, there's nowhere else I could really consider home. What about a little powdered sugar?
Yeah.
Okay. My dad is happy when I don't eat sugar, and I love my dad because sometimes he does love eating sugar. I love Wise River. We just recently moved into a new house. For the last 3 years, we've lived on the Forest Service compound. Now at this new place, we have this creek that's about 100 yards behind the house. Being out in the country and giving my son a place, where I feel like he can thrive, and him just absorbing the outdoors and all of these things I've been able to show him is really going to shape him and what he'll hang on to the most. As much as we love being in Wise River with all the outdoor amenities, there are some challenges being way out in the country, especially after his mom passed away. Childcare has been one of the biggest struggles living out here. If you hurry up and eat your French toast, you can color a little bit. Just as far as socialization, when we lived on the Forest Service compound, we had a couple families that had kids. So it was nice, he was able to socialize and had those little buddies. But then they moved away, and then it was just us. So then I had to kick into, overdrive to get him socialized. You better not want to bite of my French toast, do you?
Why?
You're turning into a little French toast monster. Do you want to bite?
Yeah.
Not a feeling.
Cut a small bite for me.
My wife made friends with Melissa, and after she passed away, Melissa approached me, told me that I was more than free to bring Mason by anytime we wanted to.
You're getting pretty good at staying in the lines, huh?
Yeah.
I initially met Mason's mom. Amy used to come to a lot of things that we offered before we had the play space. She would come on walking groups with us or play dates that we offered in other places before we had a place to meet. That family has, in my mind, and for the Early Childhood Coalition, really shaped our work. Families like them who live in such isolated areas, who don't have a lot of support, where there's not childcare. We want to make this a place for them to feel like they belong and that they can feel connected, that Mason can play with other kids, that as Roger comes into town for other things, he knows that there's a break that he and Mason can have that's really joyful and beautiful.
Really and truly having the indoor play space It was really a blessing. For myself and Mason, it was just at a critical time. Having those relationships or those safe spaces has helped out so much in this last year and a half at a time in life when I needed that. And so I don't think they realized that they were able to provide that as much as they did. You doing okay back there, big guy?
Yeah.
You need anything? You got your crackers out here whenever you want. Right now we are going to a dinosaur dig that the indoor play space is putting on. I'm looking forward to it, and I know Mason is too. He's gonna get to play with all kinds of little buddies.
So our play dates are some of the most joyful things that you can see here in our work.
But we're here.
The play dates are designed to connect parents to parents and kids to kids.
This breeze feels good to me. I don't need a coat.
You ready to go play? Looks like all kinds of fun stuff for you to play with. What's going on?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, Mason, are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you like dinosaurs? Okay, let me show you.
Roger and Mason have guided a lot of the work for me personally.
So you can wash the dino off and then we can try to figure out what it is.
I knew Mason's mom and she was important to me, and I want to make sure that her memory lives on in the work that we do here. Our vision for the future with the Early Childhood Coalition really is focused on sustainability. Our biggest goal is that this is something that is just a fixture in our county moving forward, that people can rely on us and they can expect this programming for years to come.